Hello friends, how you doing? This is Victor with Chicago Home Theater. If you stumbled across this channel, I'm here to just kind of go over the movie and give you in the beginning, my initial, just saw the movie today, so this is the out of theater reaction a few hours ago, still fresh in the mind. I'm going to start off with the best I can, no spoilers, and then towards the end, spoilers, and so I will definitely have an alert before I go into those. So, initial reaction out of the theater, I would just say, I think when I saw it out of a 5, it would definitely be a 2.5 out of 5. There's that half, for me, that initial, that was good. The family aspect, I didn't mind the colors, most of the action, I guess, maybe not. Maybe I'm stepping ahead of myself. The action was overall okay. Okay. When I left the theater, I wasn't, I saw a $3 theater, when he left, his initial reaction was just kind of, okay. And I can see now, if you're a James Gunn person, big fan, loved Guardians of the Galaxy, like I did, never had a problem with James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy series. Family loves them, really loves them, my family, but I wasn't a really big fan of Peacemaker. I'm not a big fan. Some of the show I got to the show, it was entertaining, but it wasn't a show that I could see myself rewatching. Just John Cena has, in doses, in small doses for me, I guess, as an actor. So this movie was okay. From the trailers, what you've seen, you got Hawk Girl. For me, I felt she was just thrown in. And it seems to me that was the style. But Guardians of the Galaxy didn't have that. You had a great first set. If you just watched the Guardians of the Galaxy movies and didn't watch any other movie, the first, the second, the third are like 3 acts in itself. And each of those 3 movies have 3 acts. Well done. Well done. The group was a ragtag group in the comics. He was very faithful to that with his James Gunn twist. I mean, you can't even barely nitpick these movies. They're great. I own them. You can see them right over here. They're right behind me. I own the entire Marvel universe up till there was a cutoff. After Guardians of the Galaxy 3, that's where I drew the line. After everything else is just iffy. Not worth actually me spending my money to own these movies. Not after. But back to what we're talking about here. It just... I'm thinking about it, I'm feeling this. My after reaction. I saw Man of Steel. I can just say this. For non-spoilery. When I saw Man of Steel, I just walked out. And I felt like, whoa. That was a cinematic experience for me. Of course, everyone knows his visuals. Man of Steel, for me, and many will argue this, it's one of the greatest superhero movies that's ever been made. Now, for the BVS go in areas that weren't for everyone, I totally understand. I'm a fan. But just like how I like vanilla ice cream or certain kind of ice creams, if someone doesn't, it's just all, art is subjective. Some people may look at a painting and say it's ugly, and some person may say it's beautiful. It's between the eye of the beholder. So, I mean, there's subjective and objective. I get it. BVS was what it was. I personally loved it, but I understand why many didn't. So understandable. Snyder Cut, same thing. I love that movie. I had my nitpicks for sure after watching it a few times. Ezra Miller doesn't age well in these movies. His character is quite annoying. But I like those movies. This movie, I didn't walk out feeling, how do you want to say, moved? The family part did. The family part was great. I remember throughout the movie, I'm chuckling. A little, funny, cute, the dog for me, Crypto, I felt every time Crypto was flying around doing something, I cannot get out of my mind that it's a CGI dog. I mean, it's a CGI dog. Dogs can't move around like that. Dogs can't. Where there was a few shots of an actual real dog, that was 99% CGI. As well done as it was, It's the medium, my friends. It's the medium. Christopher Nolan's Batman worked because he's a genius filmmaker and he made a comic book adaptation. This movie is trying to be as comic booky as it can get away with intentionally to fit it into a cinematic style, filmmaker style of a movie. You know, film, books, and then you have comic books, visual, graphic novels. There are 3 different mediums. You have to adjust. If you read the Game of Thrones comic books, the comic graphic novel, and then you read the books, and then you watch the show, it's 3 different experiences with similarities. The transfers is cute, and it's very interesting, the 3 mediums. The comic book is a different medium, and that movie, how it played out in a comic book would have been fantastic. I could see, thinking about it now and he's speaking it out loud, I can see what he was going for. Like, if any fan out there is like, have you read a comic book? Of course. We could go upstairs and I can show you my large collection. I love comic books, hence is why I read them first before I fell in love with this live action. But actually, I come from the era of Adam West. I was a child. In the 80s, it was reruns, of course, Adam West. Superman reruns, and the new stuff as I was a child, 80s. Superman 1, I wasn't born yet. 2 and 3, I was very young. But as I got older, I seen these movies. 4, of course, loved it in 4th grade, whatever it was. Loved those movies. When I saw Superman, I feel I could watch the original Superman, Christopher Reeves, and say I enjoyed that better. Man of Steel, I like that better than this movie. Brandon Routh's Superman, I believe, it might be a tie. Because Brandon Routh's Superman doesn't age well. Brandon Routh with Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. This Lex Luthor was, very good. Now to the good. Mr. Fantastic. Or is it Mr. Terrific? I always get it confused. Mr. Fantastic. Amazing. He stole the show. For sure. Very entertaining. Like, I couldn't even nitpick anything about that character and what he did with that character. Bravo. Fantastico. I'm telling you. Now to spoilers. I think it's okay to just jump right in because it's okay. So in the beginning of the movie, it starts off, he's just got his ass kicked. He calls Krypto, coming to get him. He gets carried off to the Fortress of Solitude. That's fine. It's comic booky. What I didn't like, it's popping in my head. It's just got to pop in my head. If you've seen the movie, if you haven't, don't spoil yourself. I didn't like how Lex came in there. I mean, I guess now you know who was the Ultraman. You realize who it was at the end of the movie. If you haven't, big spoiler now. I've warned you. It's a clone of Superman. So, how can I just say? I didn't like how it played out, how his robots just got beat up so easily. I guess in the movies, in the comic books, they're not very tough anyway. Something was just funny. It was just how Lex it didn't give any build-up of OMG, he's about to find the fortress. It could be fast. It could be in the beginning. That's fine. The pacing of events is fine. But there was missing build-up. It was, he lands from the sky from getting his ass kicked. He gets carried away. They heal him, jump back. Then he has to fight this really large CGI monster. Really, really, really big. So there's this big monster that's supposed to be a distraction while Lex Luthor's doing something else. The movie was just kind of all over. It didn't have this beginning, middle. Of course, I felt that there was a climax for sure. The action built up for sure. It's an okay movie. I think if you're the Guardians of the Galaxy, like real James Gunn all the way, you're going to enjoy this movie, I feel. So this is no judgment to anybody that liked this movie. But For me, as a Superman movie, I thought the colors, the shorts bothered me at first. Before I saw the movie, I hated the uniform, hated the outfit, hated it. But it really disappeared because him as Superman, I can't remember the name of the actor. It'll come to me. He played it very well. I couldn't really nitpick anything at all about Superman. I just think the way the movie played out seemed funny to me. The ending reveal that it was a clone needed some more gravitas. It needed some more dialogue, build up. It was just like, ta-da, it's a clone, asking again. And I'm sure you've heard this about the movie. If you haven't, or from people who are talking about it, Superman's getting his butt kicked a lot in this movie. A lot. And I feel in no comic book is he just constantly getting his butt whooped with very minimal, without a significant amount of return fire with his punches, powers, his heat vision, all that. In the comic books, in the animated shows with Superman, he's got his butt whipped many times by these, because you got to give him you got to make him soft in some point of way to give a sense of believability, that he can be hurt. Otherwise, it's hard to. So yes, we've seen it in animated. He's gotten beat up, but he comes back, he fights back, or the story seems to. It's not just the entire movie, just him getting bloody, beaten, slammed, internally invaded by nanobites, and just like, a lot. I'm all for BVS. The ending of that movie, he got a butt whooping. But it was fresh because you had never seen that in cinema history. Batman versus Superman in animated, I'm sorry. The ending of that movie, I liked the fight scene. Whoever didn't, I can't please everybody. I understand why sometimes it's not for everybody. But that's my feelings. I thought the movie was just okay to good. I got to see it again, truthfully. It's my initial out of the theater reaction. I may have to see it again and see how I feel the second time. There's been times where I saw a movie once and I was like, I don't know, it's okay. Then seen it again and it grew on me. And it may grow on me. After I see it again, I'll make another video where I maybe get into better depth, better explanation, and I'll say it may be shorter, longer, who knows, whether I liked it more or less. It'd be interesting. You know what movie that didn't wear on me? Or I'm sorry, in no way say it. That didn't stick with me, that I didn't want to see over and over again or purchase, which I bought a lot of movies, DC, Marvel. Deadpool versus Wolverine. I saw it twice in the theater. Second time was because of my kids wanted to go, and it was with different people the first time or something like that. But, excuse me, seeing it the second time wasn't necessarily a choice, but it was fun to go with my kids. I remember that. I saw that the second time. So once I went to the library to rent it for free, had the movie in 4K, and I just didn't have any desire to watch it. I feel like I had seen the movie a couple times, and that was it. And it was entertaining, but it's like seeing the same rabbit pulled out of the same hat. It's like, it was good the first two times. Like a trick you've seen, a card trick that you know the trick. Ooh, that was catchy. But after a couple times, some movies just play out there with people. You see it once, twice, and you're good. That was Deadpool Wolverine. It was just a lot of, he breaks the fourth wall all the time, but it was constant. And I felt it was too much. It wasn't for me. But that's here nor there. This is about Superman, the new movie. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Be polite. Just opinions here. If you liked it, fantastic. If you didn't, I'd like to hear why and what you felt. Have a great day, guys. Victor from Chicago Theater. Take care.